Greater Waves, now loading.
When Beckham joined LA Galaxy in 2007, it was a bit of a surprise going to America after a great career in Europe. Back then, I had no idea that Beckham's contract included the option to purchase an expansion team for $25 million once he retired. After Beckham retired in April 2013 and wanted to pursue owning an MLS team, the league held preliminary discussions with Beckham's advisory team about expansion targets, with Miami being one of the locations. After a failed attempt to bring the MLS to Miami back in 2008, Marcelo Clary, a Bolivian-American businessman, partnered with Beckham and British businessman Simon Fuller in February 2014. Project Miami was now created. In 2017, after a lot of obstacles and changes in the ownership team, the Maz brothers, Jorge and Jose Maz, joined the ownership team along with Masayoshi Son. In 2021, the Maz brothers finalized their buyout to take over majority ownership of the team from Clary and Son, with Beckham remaining within the ownership team. In the 20th century, you had players from Europe that made the move to the NASL, the North American Soccer League, in the later stages of their careers, like George Best joining the Los Angeles Aztecs from Cork Celtics, Franz Beckenbauer joining the New York Cosmos from Bayern Munich, Johan Cruyff joining the Los Angeles Aztecs from PSG, Eusebio joining Boston Minutemen from Benfica, and Bobby Moore joining San Antonio Thunder from Fulham. Even though Pele didn't play in Europe, he paved the way for football superstars playing in the US, so he's the ultimate pioneer. Beckham was definitely a huge reason why players in the 21st century left Europe to join the MLS. This includes Kaká joining Orlando City from AC Milan, Thierry Henry joining the New York Red Bulls from Barcelona, Wayne Rooney joining DC United from Everton, Frank Lampard joining New York City FC from Chelsea, Bastian Schweinsteiger joining Chicago Fire FC from Man United, David Villa joining New York City FC from Atletico Madrid, Gonzalo Higuain joining Inter Miami from Juventus, Ibrahimovic joining LA Galaxy from Man United, and Gareth Bale joining LAFC from Real Madrid. And most recently, Messi, who announced in June of this year that he wanted to join Inter Miami and went on to sign his contract with them in July of this year. Messi moving to the MLS, to me, is slightly different from the other players that joined from Europe, just because Messi joined after winning the World Cup with Argentina around 7 months before, which was the only trophy he had left to win. So he joined the MLS after basically completing football from an individual and team perspective, and is victory lapping at this point. So this here is the victory lap. Messi joining Inter Miami solidified Beckham's vision when he was actively pursuing owning an MLS team when he retired back in 2013. But I doubt he would have imagined that Messi would be part of this vision. Messi and Beckham have crossed paths on the football pitch on several occasions, whether that was the El Clasico match between Real Madrid and Barcelona in 2005, to LA Galaxy playing Barcelona in a preseason game in 2009, as well as a Champions League game between Barcelona and PSG in 2013. But before that, Messi definitely saw Beckham get sent off against Argentina in the 98 World Cup. He saw Beckham bounce back against Argentina in the 2002 World Cup, scoring that penalty, and also seeing Beckham finish second for the World Player of the Year award in 99 and 2001. So there was definitely a mutual respect between Messi and Beckham when it came to Messi joining Inter Miami. And of course, they've both had long-term working relationships with Adidas. So Messi is already one of the most famous people on earth, and he's amongst the most iconic players in the biggest sport in the world. But with the US having the most influence on pop culture globally, I can see Messi becoming more of a pop culture figure, connecting more with pop culture figures like DJ Khaled, Diddy, LeBron, and others. Messi has joined Inter Miami at a stage in his career where he's won everything in football, and so people in America can appreciate his accomplishments and his overall impact on the game. He did do a Turkish Airlines commercial with Kobe back in 2012, which was a great commercial and was really entertaining. But I think he'll become more of a pop culture figure since he's now in the US, where the US fans can dissect and study his career highlights, including goals, iconic dribbles, passes, and first touches, really breaking down the DNA of his game and trying to emulate it. I think it'll inspire those in the US that weren't really interested in football to study his career and understand his greatness. Messi being in the US means he's going to be brushing shoulders with people that are better at selling things, being a spokesperson, and utilizing their personality, which isn't Messi's strong point. Messi's game on the pitch is the main factor in his marketability globally, rather than his personality. I think there's a lot for Messi to learn from American superstar athletes in terms of how they tell stories and how they utilize their personality, which is something he'll learn from the likes of LeBron, Steph Curry, and others. And I'm starting to see Messi become a lot more expressive as well in terms of his celebrations. An athlete being shouted out in a song, especially in a hip-hop song, has always been a signal of their cultural impact for that time period. Messi's been mentioned in rap songs like Kanye's Off the Grid, They Playing Soccer in My Backyard, I Think I See Messi, Drake on Future's I'm On One song, I'm Just All About My Goals Like I'm Messi. On the Hillbilly song by Baby Keem and Kendrick, both of them identify as Neymar and Messi respectively and reference them throughout various parts of the song. A more recent mention was by Travis Scott in the song Meltdown featuring Drake from his latest album Utopia, where he says, "The boy going lean on Messi, I go Tom Brady." With there being a massive Spanish-speaking community in Miami, I'm sure Messi will get mentioned in songs from Latin music and also more hip-hop songs as he continues to create iconic moments on the pitch for Inter Miami. So Messi winning the World Cup in December of last year attracted more people in the US to the sport, especially the World Cup final, where I feel like there was an appreciation for not just Messi but also Mbappe's performance in terms of their clutch big game performances. Messi has brought more excitement to the MLS, and that's been evident amongst the youth. His contract with Inter Miami lasts until the 2025 season, with the option of extending to another year, which is in line with the preparations towards the 2026 World Cup, a World Cup that's being hosted by America, Mexico, and Canada. Clearly the aim is for Messi to help grow the game leading up to that World Cup and beyond. I do see Messi influencing young players in the US wanting to be playmakers and goal scorers. Teams have benefited from huge attendances when Inter Miami and Messi have played at their stadium, but there's a significant drop after that. For example, on the 2nd of August during FC Dallas's game versus Mazatlan, attendance was 6,844. FC Dallas's attendance versus Inter Miami on August 7th was a sellout crowd of 19,096 in the League Cup. Back in 2007, when Beckham accepted the move to LA Galaxy, Don Garber, the MLS commissioner, said this: "The addition of David Beckham represents another significant step forward for the MLS and the sport." When Messi joined Inter Miami, Don Garber also said, "We have no doubt that Lionel will show the world that MLS can be a league of choice for the best players in the game." Messi will bring huge fortune to his brand, who'll help to boost attendances for Inter Miami and TV ratings for the MLS. But will his move to Inter Miami actually help improve the game in the US? Or will he just inspire more players from Europe to move to the MLS outside of their prime? Only time will tell. For now, let's just enjoy seeing a generational athlete in their victory lap era.
A Creator Waves video essay.